On the phone, independent journalist and co-host of Radio Dispatch, John Knefel. John, welcome to the program.
Great to be here.
So, John, all right. Now, I know we spoke to you after a trip you made down to Guantanamo we spoke to you, I believe it was in October. And I know you've been back down there since, and you're planning to go, I think, within a couple of weeks. First off, tell us what's been going on with this hunger strike. There was just a devastating op-ed in the New York Times. I guess it came out today or yesterday, talking about this hunger strike. But just let us know what you know.
Well, there are sort of two elements to Guantanamo Bay. There is the one side, the sort of hunger striking side, and then there's the other side, which is the military commission side, which is the sort of alternate legal universe that I have been down there covering. The main reason that Guantanamo Bay has been in the news, obviously, is this increasingly dire hunger strike. It is now in its third month. I believe we're on somewhere around day 70, I believe. And the official count from the Pentagon is 43 hunger strikers. The defense attorneys say that the number is much higher, that it could be as high as 130 detainees. And this op-ed details in excruciating minutia how painful the force feeding is. So there are now, I believe, 13 detainees who are being regularly force fed, and what the author writes through his lawyers in the New York Times is that the process is that the tube gets snaked up your nose and down into your chest, and that he says that it's the most excruciating pain he's ever felt, that he regularly collapses from fatigue, and this mirrors in a lot of ways the characterizations that we've heard from Shaker Amr, who's a British citizen who is also being force-fed, and who says that he regularly collapses. The British government has called for Amr to be released back to Britain, and he has been cleared for release, but he continues to be held.
Yeah, I mean, can you explain this? I mean, there's 166 prisoners in Guantanamo. Is that right? Is it 166?
Yeah.
Okay, and we know that there's essentially three statuses, I guess, or correct me if I'm wrong. One is those awaiting so-called trial through these military commissions. One is a group that the Obama administration has deemed untriable, I guess, because there's either no evidence or evidence that they can find that is admissible, but they think that they're a danger and so they can't be released. So we're just going to, I guess, hold them until they die. And then there's another group that essentially the Bush administration and the Obama administration have said they're no threat to anybody, and we're just going to hold them until people forget about it, right? I mean, that's the thing I don't understand. The British government is saying release this guy. The Obama administration is saying he poses no threat to U.S. citizens. We have nothing to charge him with. Why is he still there?
Well, I think that's a really important question, and those three statuses that you described are absolutely right. And the really key number here, I think, of Guantanamo Bay is 86, and that's the number of prisoners there who have been cleared from a review board that includes all of the relevant government agencies. They will never be charged. They have been determined not to be threats if they are released, and yet they continue to be held, despite even the government of Yemen now is calling for at least some detainees to be transferred back there. And that's significant because after the failed underwear bomber plot in late 2009, the Obama administration issued a moratorium on transferring detainees to Yemen. And that is not something that Obama can blame Congress for or anything else. That is an active step that his administration took, and one that we should note that Peter King, the representative who held hearings in Congress on the radicalization of Muslims, that liberals were very, very quick to deride and call Islamophobic. Peter King praised Obama for issuing this moratorium on sending people to Yemen. So that's really one of the major stumbling blocks right now is in getting people released is this self-imposed moratorium. And then beyond that, groups like the Center for Constitutional Rights and Human Rights Watch have also said that that there is a way for President Obama or for Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel to issue these national security waivers, and for Chuck Hagel to personally certify detainees' transfer, and that, they argue, is a way around the congressional ban on using funds to move anyone. And so for the Obama administration to stay completely silent, as they have, and for sort of Democrats generally to blame the continued existence of Guantanamo Bay solely on Republican opposition is, I think, is in very, very bad faith and is demonstrably untrue.
Well, right, and it was also Democrats who voted. There were Democrats in the House that voted to supposedly deny the president funds to move these prisoners. But it also sort of stretches the imagination that President Obama couldn't say to Great Britain, "Hey, I'll tell you what, we'll release this guy that you want. Can you spring for the $20,000 it's going to cost, or the $100,000, or the $200,000? I mean, I don't know what the figure is, but the complete, virtually insignificant amount of money, so that I can say to Congress, we're not using U.S. funds to do this." I mean, it's sort of an absurd excuse at this point.
Right.
And you're suggesting that there's other mechanisms. I mean, the president can authorize unilateral strikes on people. The president can bring people to war, but he cannot authorize a couple $100,000 to fly some people out on a plane. That seems to be a bit of a stretch.
Well, exactly. And as far as money goes, the Pentagon is asking for $200 million in new funds to renovate and to update the prisons at Guantanamo Bay, including $50 million of that for an update of Camp 7, which is where the high-value detainees are held, the Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the self-proclaimed 9/11 mastermind. And so what we have here is Obama's administration has closed down the office in the State Department whose job it was to figure out how to close Guantanamo Bay. And it looks increasingly like the Pentagon is going to have these new funds, at least partially, to house elderly detainees, which, some commenters have suggested that the plan, as it sort of appears to be the case, is to hold the detainees for the rest of their natural life. And it should also be noted that the International Committee of the Red Cross and Physicians for Human Rights have both come out against force feeding. They say that if a person is mentally able to determine whether or not they want to eat, they have the right to make that choice. But of course, the U.S. government has come out and said that they will not allow any prisoners to starve themselves to death. And one of the main things that caused the raid on Saturday morning, where detainees were moved from the communal living situation into individual maximum security style cells, is that they had been using cardboard and things like that to cover the surveillance cameras. So the military says it was afraid that they were doing that so that they could essentially die without the military knowing how weak they had become. And so that just gives you a sense of how completely desperate this situation is. And in that raid, the military fired, or the security forces fired 4 quote unquote less than lethal rounds at the detainees who they say were using improvised weapons like a broom handle against them. And so this also comes amid a media blackout. There are no reporters there. There have been no reporters allowed to go for weeks, according to Charlie Savage in the New York Times.
Okay, so and just to make this clear to people, there was literally a raid on these half-starving prisoners so that they could not die. Essentially, because they were preventing the U.S. their guards from knowing that they were on the brink of death. And basically avoiding some type of force-feeding process. So they have now put them into individual cells. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, it's just bizarre. The whole thing is just sort of beyond bizarre at this point.
It's true when you kind of take a step back and try to put the whole picture in your head at once. It's so horrifying that it almost doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem like it could be actually happening right now, and it is. And the media, really up until I think the hunger strike, the media was completely ignoring Guantanamo Bay, and the Pentagon spokespeople have said that this hunger strike is a ploy for media attention or something sort of dismissive like that. And what it's done has it's brought the issue to a certain extent back in the spotlight, and it's really revealed the otherwise hidden horrors of what's happening there.
I mean, it seems quite obvious that at least part of it is I wouldn't know if I would call it a ploy. But yes, it's to get media attention so that people realize that we are holding individuals without charging them for 10 and 11 years, that we are basically just set up a place where we're bringing these, more or less these disappeared people and setting up an old age home for them so they can die down there in prison without ever having had an opportunity to clear themselves, without ever being convicted of anything, without, and in at least, like you say, 86 of these cases, being completely innocent of anything that the government ever had thought that they had done at that point, and having it being acknowledged by them. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this is like a piece of fiction. I mean, it's crazy.
It is.